to clean your car in winter. The drive over to this coin-op car wash, it was 37 degrees out. There's ice on the ground, and a lot of times these coin-op car washes, they don't want you bringing your buckets and your chemicals in there. So this is something you're gonna do to pre-treat. We're gonna bring this vehicle home. This entire process is predicated upon safety. I'm starting with Quiver, Pineapple All. It's his all-purpose cleaner, Josh V's all-purpose cleaner, and the goal here is actually just to hit the lowers. So I'm gonna hit the lowers, and then we're gonna do rinseless wash, then we're gonna do that coin-op car wash. We're gonna get in, we're gonna get out, but the whole idea is, how do I wash my car safely in the wintertime with no access to free-flowing water at home? This is safe, this is totally doable. We're gonna test it out and see how it works. I do prefer a foamer, like an IK foamer if you're gonna use an all-purpose cleaner, but you can see the way that Pineapple from Josh V from Quiver is working to break down some things on the paint and the lowers. The whole idea here is let's use a chemical first. Nice, some ice there. Let's use a chemical first, then let's rinse. Let's use a chemical again. I have rinseless wash in my keg sprayer. I put it in there as hot as I could from my kitchen faucet, the water, and then I diluted it 256:1, DIY detail, rinseless wash. That's coming next. Hopefully some of that warm solution will melt this ice. Okay, so all of this is stuff you could do at home, right? I spent a little bit of time filling up my keg sprayer. You don't have a keg sprayer at home, totally fine. Just use a regular sprayer with the rinseless wash solution diluted, 256:1. Okay, I've got very warm solution. I'm just using this as my second layer of pre-treat. We'll do the uppers, we'll do the lowers. And we wanna get this warm rinseless wash solution from this pressurized keg sprayer everywhere. Again, if you don't have a pressurized keg sprayer, not a big deal. Get yourself a spray bottle, mix your rinseless wash bucket in your garage or your driveway, because that's where we're gonna head next, and then dip your sprayer into the diluted sort of rinseless wash solution, and then you've got, as long as your sprayer is big enough to get the whole car. We're not doing everything in this step, we're just pre-treating. Okay, so now I've lost my spot in line, but the whole idea is pre-treat with your rinseless wash, perhaps some all clean or Pineapple All from Quiver, and then go ahead and get into that coin-op car wash, rinse it off, and get out of there. By the way, if you're curious, where do I find these products? You can find them at thehouseofrags.com, and for 10% off, use promo code NICK@NIGHT. One word, all caps, Nick at Night. Okay, you can see folks behind me, they're using the pressure washer, they're using the water. If you didn't want to use rinseless wash for this first step, you could just get your butt into there, use their foaming on soap, whatever the heck's in there. That's your first chemical, then rinse it off in there, and then as your final step, if you just want to get out of there, bring the keg or the sprayer of rinseless wash, do a little rinseless, and then drive home. I'm going to explain all of this, but first of all, we got to get in line, and we got to get this thing rinsed. Okay, so we have all the solution on the paint. It's dwelling. I had an issue with my change, so he's gonna come and help me. But the whole idea next, we wanna rinse this off. We have people behind me, so I can see why they wouldn't want you to spend a lot of time here. The pressure's on, folks. The pressure is on. Not a lot of PSI out of this, to be honest with you. A little surprised. If it were just rinseless, I might even be a little less meticulous with the hosing off here. But because we have an all-purpose cleaner on there, I want to make sure. Yeah, we melted all the ice off. Okay, we're done rinsing. Next step, rinseless wash to get everything emulsified again, I guess. Here's what it's gonna do. Prevent water spotting from their water, and also kind of pick up any dirt we get on the way home. Hopefully it gets emulsified, picked up in the rinseless wash. We're then gonna hit it with rinseless wash one more time in the garage, and we're gonna rock and roll. You can see the surface, not exactly beading, but for the most part, rinseless wash, pineapple all, and a rinse, and it's pretty clean. There's a few spots here that we're gonna need agitation for. Obviously, agitation is a huge principle in cleaning, and you can see how dirty it is through some of the water beads here. We're gonna need a contact wash, but that comes next. For now, our water problem, the running water problem, has been solved. Let's go. So again, our principles continue to apply. Foam, rinse, foam, chemical, rinse, chemical. The whole idea is get a chemical on there, let it emulsify, rinse it off, so you're doing this very safely, put another chemical on and do your contact wash. Basically the same thing here, except for we're gonna put this on twice. Again, right now, just to pick up anything that we may honestly run into on the drive home, and again, to prevent water spots, which I'm not super worried about today, but you never know how hard their water is here. And the cool thing is, yes, our rinseless wash can dry on the surface, no problem. So it's probably gonna dry on you on the way home, not a big deal. So this is how wet I'm leaving the surface. You might have a 30-mile drive home. This would still apply. I have a 5-minute drive home. But I could go home, put this in the garage, and just do a simple rinseless wash in 3 hours, and it'll still be fine, guys. This is how we do it in winter. It's wild, my vehicle isn't even clean yet, but I already feel so much better. If you think that driving a clean car makes it drive better and makes you feel better, you should probably go get yourself some of the products featured in this video. How can you get them? I already mentioned it, but let's say it again. Go to thehouseofrags.com and save 10% by using promo code NICK@NIGHT. In the meantime, enjoy this beautiful view of the snow-capped mountains. All right, y'all, here's the beauty. I could now wash this by putting rinseless wash on and using my rinseless wash process, or I could let this dry. Whatever has been kicked up from the roads is not that big of a deal in that amount of time. I can do the no hose rinseless wash method from here on out, which I'm gonna demonstrate, and maybe add a different product at the end than you're used to. Okay, so I'm back and the rinseless literally dried on the surface, and I'm not concerned. I had something to do. It's been a couple hours, I'm back. I'm just gonna spray more rinseless here on the surface. Now you could do this outside, but you wanna choose a day, ideally above 40 degrees. You gotta pick and choose and be real careful during the winter. Whereas if you have a garage, you could literally do this. It could be a snowstorm out basically, and the rinseless on the surface would be fine as your sort of shield in between step 1 and step 2. So anyway, enough talking, more rinselessing. I realized there is my keg was just about out of rinseless wash, but I have a little bit left over in this bottle here. So just on the painted areas, that's where I'm going to go ahead and get the rinseless. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Just get the right dilution and you have your sprayer full of rinseless. Almost as easy as a sprayer, you know, garden sprayer or a keg. And now it's time to rinseless wash. This is where I love the world famous perfectly safe brush. And I'm not really concerned about, am I damaging things, right? This upper part of the Jeep, we're not gonna treat it like paint. It's gonna be real hard to scratch. Plus, if you can see there, one of the freedom panels might have fallen off at some point. So, you know, we pick and choose our battles, right? I'm gonna redunk this. Notice how my wash bucket's in front of me. It does make life a little easier. And I'm just doing one panel at a time with no pressure whatsoever. By now, you know, so many people have the perfectly safe brush. They've realized how soft the bristles are. So I'm just wanting it to go over the paint and work its magic that way. No pressure whatsoever. Not sure if you can see it in the light, but there's this sort of dark line right here. There's a dark line right there. And then there's like dark dots here, right here as well, and here. It might take a few passes, but with rinseless wash there on the brush, you're seeing how a lot of that goes away. Now, it has been probably 2 months since I've washed this Jeep, maybe a month and a half. Something landed on the hood. I noticed it recently, and I don't think this is something I need to wash away. Something happened in my car when I was in Omaha in October. I don't know if it was a storm or a tree branch, but I have some mystery things on the hood. I have suspicions about, maybe neighbors or whatever. You never know like who was playing around, but I think it was probably something that fell on it. So that actually is not coming off in the wash. That may need to get polished, and we'll see if that even improves. This right here is such a good visual. This reminds me, I haven't washed this spot yet, but I've washed above. So I don't know what it's gonna look like on camera. I'm gonna lift you up as slow as I can so I don't jar the eye. But you see how there are kind of these swipe marks? Like it's clear that I've disrupted the activity of the rinseless wash on the surface with what look like swipe marks to me. I can tell a lot of rinseless wash on the surface with the brush. And these beads don't look like that at all. They look like a dirty car that needs some decontamination, but they look like beads. So watch this. You may get tighter beads if you've washed your vehicle more recently or more thoroughly, right? But now as I do this, just to kind of overly demonstrate it, they don't look like water beads anymore. You can still see some beading, but you can tell it's been disrupted. And so this is just a really good way to know where you've been. Use rinseless wash, don't use soap, and you will always have a precise kind of on the paint map of where you've been and where you haven't. And by the way, you can get DIY detail rinseless wash at theHouseofRags.com. Promo code NickAtNight. All right, guys, while I still have rinseless wash on the surface, I'm going to utilize its amazing ability to lubricate the surface with the baby goat. I love this towel. It's the goat, but smaller. We've got rinseless wash on the surface. When do I use the baby goat versus the goat? When do I use the drying blanket versus the baby goat? When I've used Incredible Suds, I noticed that I'm using a lot more water. The foam, the rinse, the foam, the contact wash. What happens after that? Oh yeah, you gotta rinse again. So there's just a lot of water on your driveway or garage floor, certainly on the paint, and that's where I need a more robust drying towel. But when I've done a rinseless wash, I find the baby goat is really the perfect towel to dry my vehicle safely. It fits in the hand so nicely. And honestly, my favorite part about it is that it just works really well. I just love it. It works great. It's comfortable in the hand. Kind of having an internal debate about when do I dry the roof? And I'm like, I'll do it last. And you notice there's no dirt coming up on my towel. I'm drying this vehicle. I use rinseless wash and it's clean. So as long as you do these steps the right way, you can go back to your home and have a really safe and easy final wash. I went ahead and washed and dried the paint first, and the reason I dried it is I wanted to leverage that rinseless wash on the surface. While it was there, let's use the lubrication, we're done. We still have rinseless on the wheels here, and so now that's why I'm doing it at this moment and not before, because if I went and did all the work on the wheels, it might have dried up on the paint, then I have to deal with, okay, how am I gonna lubricate the surface again? I'm just trying to save myself some time. So I put the perfectly safe brush away. Now I have my wheel and body brush, and my wash bucket, we're just doing the one bucket method here, now becomes my wheel bucket. It's easy for me to clean these 5-spoke wheels, and I just go clockwise from the valve stem. So the valve stem is just my midnight. I don't know why I do it that way. It's strange, it's odd, but it works for me. You can do the wheel first, the wheel last. This is not the be-all, end-all detail. Snow is coming soon, but hey, I'd like to dry these and make them look nice. I haven't decided if I'm doing tire lotion, tire dressing, Abyss tire and trim, or nothing at all because of the impending snow, but I am going to give the wheel faces just a spray or two of Envy ceramic detail spray from, of course, DIY Detail. And I'm just gonna work that in as my drying aid, my protectant, my gloss booster. I won't be using Envy on the paint, guys. I wanna use a South Korean brand, Katiba. And I need a dry paint for that. Normally I'd use a drying aid on the paint. I'm not used to doing just rinseless wash on the surface. I'm gonna let these wheels dry and maybe do tire lotion then. You can do it, or Abyss tire and trim. You can always put tire shine on wet tires, depending on the brand, but I prefer a dry tire usually. It just eliminates variables for me. If I have durability issues and I'm like, where did it go? It's like, well, I put it on a wet tire. So in my head from a few years ago, it's like, must be on a dry tire. So with the product I'm not super familiar with Quiver, I think I'm gonna go with this. I'll wait for this tire to dry. I forgot how enjoyable garage detailing is. I got so used to doing it outside or on location. I forgot what it's like, guys, to just be in your garage and actually kind of baby your ride, and it feels different. So I'm feeling grateful and just kind of happy to be doing this. It's different doing it here than it was 85 degrees and sun pelting down on a hot July day. And I want to say something. These wheels are this easy to clean because they're maintained. So I encourage you, every time you wash your car, put something like Envy ceramic sealant or quick beads or a protectant product of your choice on your wheels, and they are just going to be such a breeze. I never even got these ceramic coated when I first got them, but I just would use ceramic gloss or quick beads or whatever else I put on there, probably Envy a few times. And they just are so easy to clean. It's a joy, it's a breeze. And it's always impressive too to kind of see that pop, that glow on the wheels. Okay, I'm excited to try Katiba Signature Wax. Having met the team, their characters, I really wanted to get my hands on a Katiba product. So they say it could be a ceramic coating topper, a standalone protection product. It's a sealant. They recommend a 2-towel method here. So Signature Wax, here we go. 1 to 2 sprays per panel, so try to keep it at 2. And then just rub in with 1 towel. And then you're gonna go ahead and I'm sure level and do a final wipe with the other. It has a chemical smell, so nothing fluffy about this. They're not trying to make it smell like bubble gum. If what they care about is giving me a wax-like finish, that's all that matters to me. But that's my professional opinion, and obviously smells are a very individual thing. I'll also say that I got the A3 stack on here for that wax-like glow in the first place, and so I love the idea of a waxy finish on this already ceramic coated paint. I gotta do a system here, although I'm just kind of all over the place right now. Something happened to this front fender, I'm not sure what. It's also possible that I just haven't done a deep wash in so long on this thing. I had no idea what was happening because I was running and gunning in Walmart parking lots, right? So to see it under this light, you know, there's some things that have happened here and I have no idea what, but I guess from here on out, I just have to live with them and decide what to do next. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and signature wax this hood, and I'll probably work my way back around to the front fender. I'm sure you've noticed by now the tangled hose behind me. I am who I am, you know? You can leave it in the comments, but I'm aware. And right now, it doesn't really bother me. The first wash in this garage, how fitting that I'm doing some waxing as well. The move really did take it out of me from my apartment of 5 years, and just garage stuff and detailing cars came second to just needing to get the move done. Now the problem with the same color towel method, and I believe these are from the House of Rags, I don't know what the exact name is. It was in the leftover from SEMA box that Ivan and Sylvie brought back from our House of Rags booth, and I happen to get a lot of them, so that's why I'm using Katiba, and I'm excited to review some other products as well. But yeah, I don't know what towel these are exactly, It seems like this wax really does love this second towel, probably because I'm over applying, although I've been doing just 1 or 2 per panel now. And so for example, that's 3, right? That's a lot. So this first towel goes all the way through. That seems to be working really well. It feels forgiving, and yet it's not going anywhere, right? So you could give it some time for Mother Nature to do its thing, but you may wonder, is that gonna go away? And if you're wondering that, and I'm not sure their exact technique recommendations, it does feel like you do need this second towel to buff off the excess. So it's not quite a ceramic coating, but on the technical side, it's a little bit more difficult than beginner, because I like something you can just spray on and wipe and you're good. This, you do need that second towel. So it's a little more work, also annoying that you can't, I'm assuming, do it on wet paint. And so that's more work too. You gotta dry the paint and then apply your protection product. Something like Envy Ceramic Sealant or any other protection product. Quiver's got one, or Mist from DIY Detail. You spray it on wet paint and you dry and you're good to go. I'm hoping I'm gonna get robust gloss from this. I'm hoping the extra work is worth it. And it's really hard to tell in this lighting, but the Jeep looks good. Quiver Abyss, tire and trim. So this is pretty cool on trim for sure. You can see where I didn't use Abyss and where I did. So far, I'm a huge fan of it on trim. Let's see how it ages, but initially, it just got a great finish. I mean, a wash and wax in December. Why the heck not? The Jeep is so shiny, the tires are shined, the trim is dressed. It's all I wanted, all I needed today. Yes, a decontamination is in the horizon, maybe a deeper dive into this paint, but for now, I'm really excited to see how the Katiba wax performs, so I don't want to just sing its praises, but for now it looks great. And if you want to get it, thehouseofrags.com, promo code Nick at night. Thank you so much for watching. Save yourself 10% with that promo code, and we'll see you on the next episode of Nick at Night, premiering every Sunday on the House of Rags, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.